Well, for some, age is just a number, but when it comes to love and long-term relationships, does the age gap matter? The love doctor, Dr. Missy Smith from MBH Wellness, joins us this morning to address some of that. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we see it all the time now, especially with some celebrities. Mick Jagger, in fact, is 80. He's married to a much younger woman now these days, has a 6-year-old son. But we're not talking about dating. We're talking about where you actually end up thinking, well, am I going to be with this person a long time?
Right, because people who are just dating for fun, if they're clear about those expectations and what they're looking for, they may be okay to date somebody who is 10, 15, 20, even more.
And we're not knocking anybody who has that, because we know there have been a lot of successful relationships like that. But what are some challenges that people may need to consider?
Okay, so some of the challenges are just generational differences, such as you are going to have cultural references that they don't understand.
Nobody gets my
one
cultural
direction or the other.
Right.
The way that they communicate, because they were raised by parents of a completely generation potentially. So the way that they communicate, the way they handle conflict might look a lot different just based on the age difference. Their worldviews obviously can be quite significantly different. That life experience gap creates emotional maturity in that older one typically. Sometimes that is the place though that people tend to connect, because sometimes emotional maturity varies based on people. So sometimes that's actually what attracts someone to an older person.
And what about the challenge of just hanging out with friends? Hey, we're going to go hang out with friends, because the friends' age difference, they're not going to be changing.
Right, because most of the time we are going to have friends that fall within, the same age to 10 years apart from us. And with friendships, you don't have to worry quite as much about those age difference issues. But when you bring someone into that group who's 15 or 20 years different, then they don't necessarily enjoy it as much. They don't want to have that time with you, with your friends. And couple time with friends is extremely important to the health of a relationship.
So that could end up with some conflict. Now, we don't have time to cover all those, but let's just say it's starting to move towards, hey, we're thinking about getting married. Now there's some other factors that come into play.
So first you need to make sure that you are talking about family planning. How many kids do you already have? How many kids do you want? Do you want to have kids? Because at that point, some people might not be interested in having kids. And then you've got to think about career, where you are in your career. What is your long-term goals? So what are your future plans for retirement? Because if you've got someone who's already headed towards retirement and they're going to hit retirement right as you are getting to the most intense part of your career, you may not want to give that up. And they have plans to be on an island somewhere while you are enjoying being a boss.
And real quickly, as you get even much older, there are health concerns that'll be different.
Absolutely.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so we go into relationships, there's 10, 20, 30-year age gap. We don't necessarily think about exactly what that's going to mean for how much we're going to be responsible for later, because people age, they deal with the health issues, and now you may be 40 and are being a caregiver to a spouse, and that's going to extremely impact your life.
So you better make sure you're fully in love.
Absolutely.
I'll just leave with this. The comedian Sinbad said, if you're 50 or older and you're dating someone, you're thinking about getting married, you better be dating someone who could recognize the signs of a stroke. And he was being, he was saying that to be laughing, but to also be in reality, because he knew a lot of friends who were doing that. Dr. Missy Smith, the love doctor from MBH Wellness, we appreciate it.